Hi, my name is Stonehorse Lone Goeman. I'm a Seneca, an Ojibwe Indian. I live on a Tonawanda Indian reservation outside of Buffalo, New York. It's a little bitty reservation, famous for two things, mosquitoes and mosquitoes. It's way back in the boonies, and even the dogs have to honk to get them off the road. And I live there. I have my tires cut in half in the trees. I use to help keep my knees and my shins in condition, and my heavy bags. And I go out every day and I celebrate my health. That's one of the things that I really like about MMA is that, you know, it's not just a combat sport. People see it like that. It's a warrior sport. It's a spiritual warrior sport. Because a lot of people don't realize when these guys are in the cage, these athletes are the top conditioned athletes. Their techniques are precise, so they're not doing something beyond what they want to do. In other words, they're not hurting each other unintentionally. And by that I mean that you're going to do enough to submit, to tap this guy out or knock him out or whatever, without really doing a lot of super. You got and the referees in there too are trained. So you've got those factors in there. And I think too, that's one of the things I love about MMA is Dana White and Mr. Harris. They tell these kids, listen, I know it's an emotional sport, but you swear out there and use this racist, sexist language, you're gonna get fined. All these kids out there, we need you to be role models for them. And that's what ruined boxing. I was boxing many years. I've been coach for Olympics and everything and stuff for a native boxing team. I've been with Tom Coulter, who's a legend in Olympic boxing. And I was training with some of the top Thai people in the world. And I'm really glad that we're not letting MMA become adult entertainment. And that's what boxing did to itself. And that was the fault of trainers and the coaches. The kids can never think they're superstars. Every kid that comes into the gym has to have great humility. Great champions have great humility. There are no superstars in the gym. Everybody gets better equally. Everybody's there to help push each other. Everybody is there to make sure that respect is paid to the sport, respect is paid to your crew, to your teacher, respect is paid to the sport, and to the people who come to watch martial arts, mixed martial arts. That the one thing that the parents have to realize about the sport is every kid that's in this gym, he's not out there gangbanging. He's not out there pushing drugs. He's not out there committing crimes and being educated on the corner. You send your kids to these things to learn self-respect and discipline. First of all, you learn to celebrate their health. Because there's guys out there and women out there in wheelchairs who get 20 years of their life to get up and hold their son or their daughter. And I remind them that every day you need to celebrate your health, because that is a gift. And I think training helps you to realize, you know something, geez, look at the marvelous things that I can do with this body for good. Now people don't realize, they see Muay Thai as a real, violent and this and that and stuff. But Muay Thai fighters are not just incredibly conditioned athletes, they're sharpshooters. Everything they do, they precisely with what part of the body, what part of their body they want. But also, before you're going to fight in a Muay Thai match, they actually, corners apologize to each other in case they do something unintentionally to hurt the other person. Now people don't realize about Muay Thai, and I think that's so incredible. The same thing with the jiu-jitsu and the grappling, and the boxing and stuff. Because originally, don't forget, that was called the sweet science, the gentleman's sport, you know what I mean? Because it was intended to be a sport, not this crazy animal thing that Hollywood portrays it to be. And thankfully, I think people are realizing more and more that this is what it's not. And thankfully, I'm really glad to see that MMA is going out of their way to do something for our young men and women that are in the military, abroad and home. Because my son has come back from 4 tours. My son is 7 generations in the military. And I'm glad to see that the MMA is reaching out and saying, something, what can we do for you guys? You're the real warriors. And thank you guys. You're my heroes. Also, I think if people really look around and you look in the audience in MMA, you see families. That's what it used to be when it was Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano, Sugar Ray Robinson. It used to be a family sport. before all that mentality started. And that's what is happening again. You know, and I think that's so important. I think it's the biggest thing that I really appreciate about MMA has gone out of its way to do is to, you know what, let's show this sport what it really is. We're spiritual warriors first. No, I'm just happy. I'm 61 now, and you know, I'm happy. These guys keep me young, you know, and I go back and I'm sure I'm sore and this and that, but I go, you know something, Stonehorse, so many guys at your age who do this. I'm thankful that I'm able to do this, and that you know, I have this, and I, you know, try to be humble and tell my kids, you know, I'm nothing, I'm nobody, you know, I'm just at this point in my life, I'm trying to be a human being. Sonong Intavong, who's my crew here, he lives in Rochester. He's going to be retiring pretty soon. But I've learned so much from Sonong Intavong, and he's probably forgotten more than I'm ever going to learn. So I told him, I only thing I promise you is I will always bring honor to the name Intavong, and that's what I try to do with my teaching. So I come. You know, my grandma used to say something, and I'm just going to end it on this, that there's two things a man never is. One is dirty because there's always soap and water, and the other one is without manners.